If you guys have watched my unnameable dancing dog or my Alice in Wonderland syndrome video, then you must have picked up that I'm into mysterious stuff. I really enjoy watching creators like Nexpo, Sakura Stardust, or Farrell Maguire, alongside the more light-hearted stuff I enjoy. And ever since I was a little kid, I've been into stuff like that. That makes you wonder and theorize about things. I would always be making up explanations for stuff, and I distinctly remember enjoying dumb theory or unsettling videos in the shows that I liked. It's not that I don't get scared by these kind of things. Of course that I do, I mean, I'm a coward. But I really remember, for example, one time that I had borrowed my grandma's phone to look up how to draw like anime art tutorials, when I ended up finding a video about Momo. Remember that? I don't know if it was more popular in Spanish-speaking communities, but it scared me so much I couldn't even sleep all night. But even though I was scared, I was really intrigued by it. And I even remember making a dumb conspiracy theory with a friend in 4th grade about how Momo, the Ayuwoki, and Anonymous were somehow connected. So following that same vein of curiosity and kinda copying the content creators that I like to watch, I decided to make a video compiling interesting stuff that I have found on the r/InternetMysteries subreddit, a community centered around sharing and solving, well, internet mysteries, obviously. Rather than picking more true crime or lost media stuff, I decided to go more for puzzling weird occurrence type stuff, just because I find those a little bit more interesting, but there are still some that revolve around more serious or unsettling things, so I'll be sure to put the necessary warnings and timestamps before those segments. Without further ado, and considering this intro has already gone on for too long, and most of you guys have probably already left, let's start with this compilation. Number 1. Okay, no. Starting off with a simple one, on November 24th, 2025, the user u/magpiewings, I think I shouldn't be trying to pronounce its usernames anymore, uploaded a post asking about the origins of this creepy image of a husky dog, which at a first glance seems to be smiling in a creepy way. So around September of 2023, I started seeing this picture of a Siberian husky quite a bit on TikTok, right around the same time the 2026 bear meme was around. Although I haven't seen it very much since then, I've been kinda curious about it and its origin. The most I could find, personally, with the reverse image search was a probably fake tweet of an unknown date, and a Tumblr screenshot that not only I couldn't find here, but it's also of an unknown date. I cannot find a link to it either, and earliest records of it seem to be from mid-2023. It's commonly associated with the Smile Dog creepypasta, to the point of it being called the new Smile Dog, and I've also heard many people claim it's a skinwalker of some sort, if that's helpful. Really not sure what to say here, other than please tell me if you have any info on it. Now, at first glance, if we see this image, we might be really creeped out by it. Some people even suggested it might be a skinwalker, but once you actually compare it to photos of normal dogs, you can easily notice that the creepy smile is nothing more than the dog's normal mouth, but due to its muzzle being obstructed by the latter, it looks as if it's creepily smiling. Besides, the text in that Twitter post just looks like a generic creepypasta type story, and actually the whole situation is really similar to the old, supposedly cursed Smile Dog photo from the late 2000s. Doing a reverse image search with Google Lens, I managed to find this YouTube video by YouTuber Rookie from 6 months ago explaining this whole thing. Basically, the Twitter screenshot came from a BuzzFeed article about creepy images online, but it seems like the image itself was already trending and being reposted a lot before the article, and ultimately it ended up coming from a Tumblr post, where it was revealed that actually the latter was only a chair, and that, evidently, the dog was just a normal dog that looked kinda creepy because of its blue eyes and hidden nose behind the chair. This one isn't really that creepy once you look into it, but more so really weird. On October 30th, 2025, the user u/zankidu would make the following post. So I'm trying to merge my YouTube account into a brand account, and I went to YouTube Studio and clicked Advanced Settings. It gave me an option to make my YouTube account into a brand account. When I clicked it, it redirected me to this old biography channel. The videos are all really short, seeming to be made by a bot. That is until it gets to videos completely unrelated, like one called Road, with someone filming a dark road until the video ends, or one just filming a plant, with comments talking about a gross previous thumbnail. Not really sure what's happening here, I just want a brand account, so if anyone could help me figure out this, that'd be great. Looking through the channel itself, it has a huge amount of videos, most of them really short biographies of female celebrities, and they all seem to be made really quickly. I originally thought that they might be fully automated, especially considering that they only started posting 2 years ago, and they already have almost 500 videos. But it seems like at least the voice is in AI, and in fact, there's one where a girl, seemingly the channel owner, appears instead of the usual editing. Yet, they always seem to cut off at the near end for some reason. Weirdly enough, I was unable to find that road video they mentioned, although the comments under the Reddit post seem to confirm its existence. But it seems like recently there's been a shift regarding the content of the channel, as they suddenly have started to upload really short recordings of random stuff, but maybe they keep on deleting them, as all of those types of videos are from after the Reddit post was made. I decided to put the link in the Wayback Machine, a tool where you can see how websites used to look in the past, but I was unable to find any deleted video, even after using the channel's ID instead of the username. However, the username itself still intrigued me. Why was it called Account Transfer Channel, and why was OP redirected to it by YouTube? I decided to keep on looking, and I managed to find that if you go back to July 2023, you can see that somehow the channel has no videos, but it's linking to videos by a channel called Gaia Link, about tips on making a successful YouTube channel. But it seems to not exist anymore, as when I tried looking up the username in normal YouTube, all I found were a bunch of weird AI channels, so I was unable to see if the person behind them was the same. Besides, both seem to have either bots or something similar, as they have a relatively good amount of views and subscribers, but the biography listeners' videos have barely any comments. Weirdest thing though is that in the Wayback Machine page for the Gaia Link channel, there seems to be a bug where the name of another unrelated channel appears for some reason, this channel being an old gacha channel with all of the videos deleted. So my hypothesis for now is that for some reason there seems to be a few bugs in the YouTube and Wayback Machine sites that confuse the account transfer and the Gaia Link channels, which do seem to be related, either owned by the same person or the same collective, with other pages, but the reason why is still unknown. Warning for any epileptic or photosensitive people, as this entry includes flashing colorful lights, as well as a trigger warning for slight possible references to depression or suicidal thoughts. If you'd like, jump to the timestamp shown right now in the screen to go to the next case. Continuing with strange YouTube rabbit holes, in the end most of the video ended up just being about YouTube. This next one was posted by user u/trollblivion on September 6, 2025. So, I was just scrolling through YouTube Shorts, not really looking for anything serious, when I came across this super weird and cryptic video that totally caught me off guard. At first I thought it might be some kind of ARG or hidden mystery thing, so I decided to check it out and see if there was anything deeper behind it. But after messing around with the text and trying to decode it, all I found were some random troll messages that didn't actually lead anywhere, which was kinda disappointing to me. If anyone can help, please comment. Looking at the channel called Cellar Bucket Eyes, the videos all seem to be colorful and almost nonsensical, but perhaps the OP hadn't noticed that in some of the videos, a Russian voice, according to the subtitles, seems to be saying stuff, which thankfully was pointed out and decoded by user u/cazadord in one of the replies. Hi, I have just visited the channel and the fourth video, titled I'm not gonna read the title, has a voice speaking in, as I detected with a translator, Russian. I have two possible translations to that. Either, you will get out of the situation, this is not a way out, this is not a place, you do not have time to get out, you lose or you win, this is your decision, no one will forgive you. Or, it counts, it won't work, it doesn't make sense, there's no time for jokes anymore, you're centering, you lose or you win, it's your decision, no one changed the world. I am not a psychologist or anything, but it sounds kinda weird. It is exactly something I would say if I would have clinical depression or suicidal thoughts. I can tell that for the experience, but I wanna repeat, I am not a healthcare professional. Note 1. I find kinda disturbing, not enough to scare me but enough to make me uncomfortable, the last video. For this they most likely mean this video, which shows a troll face fading in and out of a noisy and glitchy screen. And while it's not disturbing for me, as I find it hard to take a troll face seriously, the people who don't know what it is might find it creepy in some way. Note number 2. SULPXP Exorthg seemed like a recording of someone breaking his belongings or maybe a part of the film. Note 3. The channel started publishing shorts since August 26th. Last activity August 29th. Note 4. SULPXP Exorthg is the first video, and the other name for the second. My thought, an outburst of anger, first video, and after that, thoughts of guilt and misery. Why do I think this? Because both were submitted on the same day. And the third video, my grass.mob, seemed like a normal day starting, something you would record if you were tired. If this is true, this might be a vent channel, but due to the codes it's likely that it's also actually an ARG, like the OP had originally supposed. As the user u/very high on Citrusine commented how, after translating the description, which seemed to be written in hex encoded UTF-8 bytes, it read, "Do not study this channel if you don't want to spend hours on decryption and research, after being translated from Russian." Seeing that the title of the second video was encoded in a similar manner, I looked up some UTF-8 and hex translators, and the actual message was... oh. So taking that into account, as well as the last video showing a troll face, another possible theory, just like OP had said, is that this is just a troll channel made to confuse people, like a comedic ARG or something of those sorts, as the owner does seem to have the dedication to encode stuff and upload different downloadable content, but while sometimes it's something more serious, like the distraught messages in the "Never Gonna Give You Up" video, sometimes they're also just, well, never gonna give you up, or a troll face. There seem to be more hidden codes, such as in the troll face video's title, or the video titled "Consume", that has some unnerving beeping sounds in the background, but due to my lack of experience with ARGs, I don't even know how they're encrypted in order to decode them. But if you're interested, please take a look at this, and give deciphering it a try. And if you manage to find anything, leave it in the comments, as it'd be really interesting to keep on following how this develops. If you didn't know, in some places you're able to watch whole movies for free, and officially upload it on YouTube. And one of those is a 1958 Japanese movie, called The Hidden Fortress. This plot isn't really important for this entry though, as there seem to be some weird hidden messages in the official upload of the movie for some reason, and so mentions the user u/basementkid106 in a post they made on December 18th, 2025. There are strange subliminal messages in an official YouTube Movies and TV upload. In the official YouTube upload of the 1958 samurai movie The Hidden Fortress, there are two instances of unusual messages occurring in a single frame before disappearing. The first occurs at 40 minutes 15 seconds, reading, "And Jackfish was the soda jerk," and the second at 1 hour 20 minutes and 17 seconds, reading, "If something's broke, you have to fix it." Any idea how this could have happened, or what it might mean? This is really strange. It seems like the subtitles of some random David Lynch interview got inserted as frames into this film. I don't understand how that could have possibly happened. Why would YouTube's system for subtitling videos even have the capability to edit the videos themselves? It's not like it's easy to just insert a frame into a video by accident. Doing so would probably corrupt the entire video file and make it unplayable. If the video subtitles got accidentally embedded into the video like this, it would already be baffling, but the subtitles being put on a completely random unrelated video instead makes it even more baffling. This is what confuses me as well. It seems strange to me that something like this could occur by accident, whether human or automated. I was able to search the codes to the 2016 documentary by David Lynch, The Art Life, through transcripts online. This movie is available through YouTube, which would explain why the subtitles were in whatever database YouTube was in the first place. But it still leaves the question of how or why they became isolated and spliced into random frames of a completely unrelated movie. It is a very baffling situation to be sure. Now, this is really weird, and while due to region locks I wasn't able to verify or check it for myself, the commenters seem to have been able to see it too, and they managed to discover some related stuff too. Hidden Fortress and David Lynch The Art Life aren't totally unrelated. They're both Criterion Collection movies, so I'm thinking tech glitch related to subtitling. If you don't know, Criterion is a company dedicated to collecting and distributing old films. And googling if this was a common occurrence, while not much information appeared, it seems like user u/742-350 posted about it to the r/Criterion subreddit, which some people gave some interesting suggestions or theories to find out why this happened. As someone who has edited subtitles into stuff like this before, it's entirely plausible that this was just some kind of template or something the editor was using, or they used this timeline for a different movie previously and just forgot to clean it up. Interesting, but yeah, my guess is an editor along the line, for the export to YouTube I suppose, somehow had an unclaimed workspace. I reused a project file that contained prior work without properly purging every last little clip from it. Since Criterion also released The Art Life, it would have made sense a subtitle from there might get mixed into the editor's workflow, before taking on this export job. Film and TV editor here. There's no reason, unless as a long shot it was an ingest/export only timeline, i.e. they had the rights to it but weren't doing anything other than formatting it for the correct resolution. But even then, no editor worth their salt would reuse a project, and even if they would never ever reuse the same timeline. It's genuinely unspeakable, and even if they did, there would be completely standard track deletion protocols. Quite frankly, as possible as human error is, this for me is either intentional in the edit, or unintentional in the upload or streaming vendor side. I don't see any human being editor making this mistake, potentially an automated edit upload service. That's the only thing I can think of. So while it was most likely an editing error, it's still interesting to wonder about why this might have happened, and to check if there are any more instances of this happening in other uploads. So if any of you guys know anything about it, comment here or on the original Reddit post. Now, this is the last case, and honestly the whole reason that led me to wanting to make this video, as it's genuinely really unnerving, and one of the only ones that might be actually real. I mean, as in that it might have real life consequences, but let me explain. On August 24th, 2025, user u/Caliber1 posted this. Toy 739 Toy, obscure YouTube channel with hundreds of seemingly covered recordings of a man. A few days ago, I stumbled upon something unusual in my YouTube feed. Buried among my usual recommendations was a channel that immediately stood out because of the strange thumbnail. The name of the channel is Toy 739 Toy. Looking through, I noticed that the channel contained over 7,000 videos. The sheer volume of uploads was strange enough, but the actual contents of the videos were even more odd. To summarize the content of the videos I watched so far, the vast majority of the clips posted by Toy 739 Toy are extremely short, typically no more than 10 to 20 seconds. Among these videos, many feature what appears to be a Japanese photographer, often in the presence of other individuals who also seem to be in public figures or at public events. At first, I might have a gloss over this off as some kind of personal archive, but there are some aspects of these clips that leave me puzzled about this channel. The first is its obsessive focus on this individual. For years, the channel has uploaded footage mostly centered on this one photographer, documenting him in various settings where he is the sole subject of interest, despite him not doing anything particularly noteworthy in the videos. However, what is more concerning to me is the manner in which the footage is captured. Many of the videos are shot at strange angles, often from elevated or distant vantage points. At the same time, the man in the videos never acknowledges the camera and seems completely oblivious to being the focus of these relentless documentations. In the few videos I watch, he never looks at the camera recording or shows any signs he's aware that he is being recorded, except maybe in the final video, where he seems to notice the camera before leaving soon after. It makes me wonder what the purpose of this channel is at all. Why invest years of effort into uploading thousands of short clips of the same man? What's the point? If it were meant as a personal archive, the seemingly hidden and clandestine approach makes little sense. Who is recording this? It almost seems like the person is doing some surveillance on this guy. If anyone knows anything about this channel or the man in the videos, I would really like to know, as I am stumped. It could all be completely normal, but there are just these elements that do not add up. This immediately caught my interest and made me want to look up the channel. Looking it up, it's genuinely surprising how many videos there are posted. As just as the OP said, the channel consists of over 7,000 videos recorded over a span of 8 years, and it's really strange how the subjects of the video never seem to be aware of the cameras, except in one video, titled
如珠如宝, 如珠如宝, a lifetime treasure.
I can read Chinese, which not only confirms that this channel isn't Japanese, but probably Chinese, as the title is Chinese and the language they are speaking in the video is in Japanese, but also that maybe the owner of the channel is also a photographer. A lot of these videos show models, so it's likely this person has an interest in fashion photography, and that's where they might have met, or well, first seen, the man, who might also just be one of their co-workers. I tried to find the oldest video of the man, as in the channel's oldest videos, he's nowhere to be seen. The first video is of a photographer, but he seems to be a completely different person. However, my YouTube kept bugging due to the sheer amount of videos in the channel, so I'm still unable to know exactly when he started to be recorded. But as the last videos of the channel approach, most of them become just videos of the man and less of the models. I watched more of the videos, and in multiple, he seems to look at the camera multiple times. Whether he seems to look at the camera directly, he seems scared or worried. For me, it seems like he does know that he's being followed. it just took him some time to realize. In the last video and the one before that, it looks like he's in an airport of sorts. My guess is that he left when he realized that this is serious, and that last video was when they saw each other last. He escaped from his stalker, but then again, it could be just that I overtime it. And yeah, if we take a look at the last video, we can see him directly looking at the camera, and looking scared or worried, so maybe at this point he had figured out that he was being followed, and was trying to escape. Now, all of this might as well be something different. Maybe he knows about this or something, but no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to come up with a way to explain this, other than the stalking. But even still, I hope I'm wrong, and this mind is finally safe and away from whoever was recording him. Which is likely the case, seeing how this video was uploaded 6 years ago, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of Toy739 Toy coming back, which is probably for the best. Reddit communities like this really intrigue me. I always end up getting lost just reading a bunch of interesting stuff that I find over there, and I really enjoy watching videos talking about this kind of stuff. So yeah, this was it for this video. I hope you guys find it interesting, and please tell me if you'd like to see this become a series in the future. Or maybe not, who knows. I really enjoy making this kind of content too, aside from the more lighthearted stuff I also make. So if you guys did too, consider liking this video and comment any findings or opinions you might have. Thanks so much for watching it, and see you in my next video next month. Unless I end up taking too long to make it and uploading in 6 months. So see you guys hopefully in February with a more ranty video than usual. So yeah, goodbye guys, and see you in my next video.